You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Will you please state and spell your name for the record?
My name is Larry Williamson. Larry, L-A-R-R-Y, Williamson, W-I-L-L-I-A-M-S-O-N.
And how are you currently employed?
I'm currently employed by the Galveston County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been with the Galveston County Sheriff's Office?
I've been with the Galveston County Sheriff's Office approximately 8 months.
Now, is 8 months the entirety of your law enforcement career?
No, ma'am.
How long has your law enforcement career been?
Just over 22 years.
In order to become a peace officer, what sort of training and experience did you have to have?
To be a basic peace officer, you have to go to a basic police officer academy, which is normally around 6 months or so, and get certified there, take a state exam to get TCOR certified, and then find a job, find an employer so they can hold your certification.
And you said it was 22 years ago that you began your law enforcement career?
Yes, ma'am, approximately.
Was there anything you were doing prior to becoming in law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am. From 1998 to 2002, I served in the United States Marine Corps. I did some tours overseas. I was on the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit and did some things with Fast Company.
I'm going to ask you to pull your microphone just a little bit closer to you to make sure our court reporter can grab it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So once you went through academy and that state exam, what was the first position you held as a law enforcement officer?
I was employed by the Kemo Police Department starting in 2003.
What role did you have at the Kemo Police Department?
Initially, they hired me on as a telecommunications operator, pending October 1st, having an officer position open. So my first position, I was a telecommunications operator, and then October 1 of that year, they swore me in as a peace officer.
And were you on patrol or something else?
While at Kemo Police Department, I was on patrol, and I was on patrol from 2003 until 2008.
After leaving the Kemo Police Department, where did you go next?
I went to the Texas City Police Department.
Was that also in 2008?
Yes, ma'am.
At the Texas City Police Department, what role did you go into?
I started at Texas Police Department on patrol, but thereafter, from 2009 to 2010, I enlisted into the United States Army, and I went to Iraq from 2009 to 2010, or 2010.
In 2010, when you returned, where did you go from there?
From there, I returned back to patrol. I don't remember how long exactly I was there. I guess approximately 2 years. I was there for about 2 more years. And then from 2013 to 2014, I deployed to Afghanistan.
Now, in 2014, when you returned from Afghanistan, what role did you go to?
When I returned from Afghanistan, I went into the crime scene unit, where I spent the next 4 years or so.
What is different from the crime scene unit versus, say, patrol?
As a patrolman, we show up, we're the first responders, we'll assess things, we'll start calling for ambulances or calling for help, getting crime scene tape and stuff set up, conducting interviews with people, or at least getting names. And depending on the crime, like we're speaking of today, it would be set up, perimeter up, and get a log started for people coming into it. The crime scene is quite a bit different. We come in after something bad has happened, and in that I could be doing photos, collecting DNA, doing shooting reconstruction, or all of the above.
You stated you were in crime scene for approximately 4 years?
Yes, ma'am.
So where did you go after crime scene?
After I was at crime scene, I was a detective for the Texas City Police Department.
And just briefly, what's a detective?
A detective ends up being the coordinator over major crime scenes. So as a detective, you're in charge of everything. You get there, the patrol's already going to be there. You'll either request a crime scene or they'll show up. But you are the manager of the crime scene. You're in charge of everything, what people do and don't do, or anything above. That's your responsibility. You may be conducting interviews, or watching interviews of other people, or just in general controlling that crime scene.
How long was it that you were in CID or detective at Texas City?
I was a detective at Texas City for 2 years.
And did you go anywhere, or obviously you went somewhere, where did you go after Texas City?
When I was at the Texas City Police Department, I had an opportunity to apply with the Galveston County Sheriff's Office as a detective and lateral over into major crimes. So I left the Texas City Police Department in March of this year. I had a whole day off of retirement, and then I returned to after active duty with the Galveston County Sheriff's Office.
And what was your first role at the Galveston County Sheriff's Office?
I was a major crimes detective, and as a major crimes detective, we could be working anything, but mainly some homicide, sexual assaults, violent crimes, shootings, or anything in between.
And are you still in the major crimes detective role at the Galveston County Sheriff's Office?
No, ma'am. Approximately 2 weeks ago, they moved me into the training coordinator's position. So currently, I'm the sergeant overtraining.
What sort of, if I asked you to give me kind of the highlight reel of some of your extra training or experience that was pertinent to this case, what would you tell me?
For this one specifically, I am a certified Cellebrite operator and a Cellebrite physical analyst operator.
What is Cellebrite?
Cellebrite is a digital extraction program that we use to obtain digital extraction from cellular phones and other devices.
When you say digital extraction, in the most kind of basic terms you can give us, what is a digital extraction?
The digital extraction is that we will extract the data off of the phone. So all the data which is coming off as in letters and numbers, something that's not readable, and we'll put it inside the physical analyzer, which is on the same machine. Put it through the physical analyzer, and it will give us a readable output that we can look at with our human eye, as we do with the cell phone that we pick up and use our hands right now.
And what times or what occurrences are you able to utilize Cellebrite to do a digital download of a phone?
To do a digital download of a phone, you have to have consent or a search warrant at least.
And just in general terms, before we start talking about the case we have here, you said you plug it in and then it gets into a readable format in the analyzer, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What does that readable format look like? What would you see like with your naked eye?
Oh, it would be just as we do normally. We see our text messages, our pictures, our any phone calls, received calls, applications, and things that occur with those applications.
Now, when you do a digital download of a cellular device, does every single thing on the phone show up in the analyzer, or sometimes it's something different?
The analyzer will pull the data that it picks up and parses it out into specific fields, being videos, pictures, text messages, phone calls, things like that. Sometimes the rest of that data just gets stored as bulk data inside the phone.
Now, if somebody has, say, deleted something on a phone, is that able to be picked up by Cellebrite, or sometimes or never?
Sometimes we can pick up those files. It depends on how long it's been deleted for, and if that space has been allocated for something else and it's been removed in order to make a room for a new, say, a new photo or something like that.
You also talked about the Cellebrite download will show you applications on the phone, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, does it also give you all of the data within those applications, or are there some applications that withhold that information from things like a digital download?
We can see some of the data from some of the applications, some of the more sophisticated applications or the encrypted ones. A great example would be the WhatsApp application is encrypted and protects a lot of that data, so we do not get that from the phones.
So if there was messages on something encrypted, you said like WhatsApp, those messages wouldn't necessarily appear in the cell phone download, correct?
No, ma'am. Yes, correct.
And do you have any knowledge as to whether or not you can get those messages from WhatsApp directly?
You can attempt to get those messages from WhatsApp, but normally they will tell you no, they do not possess them, and or they've already been deleted.
So once you have a digital download of a phone, how do you go through it, or does somebody else go through the phone?
It depends on the investigator is normally the one that goes through the phone. Sometimes I'll be requested to go through a phone because they can't find something. Maybe we need to dig a little deeper, put a little more time in it. Or the physical analyzer that I was speaking of that parses out that data allows me to do different things inside of it than whenever I produce a review report.
Now, I want to bring your attention to the early parts of 2025. I believe you stated you moved over to Galveston County in March of 2025. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, do you have any knowledge as to whether this case happened before or after your employment with the Galveston County Sheriff's Office?
This case happened before my employment with the Galveston County Sheriff's Office.
But did a time come that you were asked to become involved with this case?
Yes, there was.
When was that?
That was my second day at work. On two events, I was asked to become part of the case. When I arrived at the Galveston County Sheriff's Office, during that time, I was the only one in the office that was certified to do the Cellebrite extractions. So on day two, my lieutenant walked me in and showed me the computers in the room and said, "Hey, here's
So
this."
tell me what anyone else said.
A second? Oh yes, I was directed towards the forensic room. As I go in there, there's several phones inside there that need to be extracted, and they are from this specific case.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Sergeant Williamson, I'm handing you what's been admitted as case 100 and 101. Do you recognize these documents?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are these documents? What's 100 and 101?
These are search warrants for Tara's phone and for Uriah's phone.
Earlier you stated that in order to do a phone dump or a digital download, you either need consent or a search warrant, correct?
That's correct.
Is there a time when you don't need either of those?
Yes, there is.
When is that?
When someone is deceased and no one else has any kind of priority over that phone.
And is that because a living individual has their rights to privacy, and once somebody is deceased, that has changed?
That's correct.
Okay. Overall, how many phone extractions did you complete involving this case?
4 phone extractions.
And do you recall what those were?
I did Tammy King's cellular phone, did Uriah's cellular phone, Tara's cellular phone, one being an Android, and a second phone that was an iPhone.
Now,
Sorry, didn't catch that last part. The second phone that what?
Tara's phone Tara had 2 phones. One was a Motorola Edge, and she had a second phone that was an iPhone.
Okay, thank you.
when you do a forensic download on a phone, is that a small amount of data or a large amount of data, or does it depend?
It depends on the size of the phone and how much data someone has stored inside of it.
And is the process the same whether or not it is, since you mentioned Tara had an iPhone and an Android, is the process the same when you're approaching those 2 different types of devices?
Yes and no.
Will you explain that?
Because of the setup of the iPhones and the Androids, just setting the phone up in order to do these digital extractions is a little bit different. If you have a warrant and you're actually inside of the phone, you have to get there and set the settings and allow it to bridge through the ADB or to debug so you can bridge to it and draw that data with the Motorola type phones or Android phones. With the iPhones, they're a little more secure, and often that you have to go in there and it's a little bit less to do, but you also have to open up accessories and give permission to the phone for the program to start extracting things. However, sometimes you can do a before first unlock on the phone, and we will plug the phone in and it will start drawing a small amount of data, which is normally would be a logical extraction of data. You're getting a very small amount of data.
Now, you said that you're a certified analyzer, correct? As well, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, for a layperson, if they plugged in Cellebrite, is it pretty self-explanatory, or is it a little bit complicated to sort through?
One story inside the analyzer, ma'am. Could you be more specific?
Of course. If you handed me a Cellebrite phone dump and I plugged it in, how easy would it be for me to find specific data? Or is it easier if it's pulled out in certain ways?
It is easier if it's pulled out in certain ways.
Now, when you are analyzing a phone and pulling things out, how is it that you pull that data out in a more readable way?
There's several different ways on the Cellebrite app specifically. You can extract that information as an HTML file, as a Word document, as a PDF, and a CSV, and through Excel. Normally I will do it as a Word document and or an HTML. That being said, it's also easier to read. I'll normally break it up into sections and put it inside of a PowerPoint when I'm getting ready to present said evidence.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Okay, Victoria, I'm sorry.
Sergeant, I'm handing you what's been marked as leads 478 and 480. Please look at these and let me know if you recognize these items.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you recognize them?
These are going to be my extractions and the data inside here's data that I put inside these USBs.
Right. And do they appear to have been altered with or changed in any way?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, statements to admit states 478 and 480.
Okay.
Okay. 478 and 480 will be admitted.
And may I publish, Your Honor?
Yes.
All right, Sergeant, when we're looking at this USB, when I first open it, can you explain in general what it is that we're looking at? What part is the phone dump versus what part are things that you've pulled out for readability?
Yes. At the top of the list where it says, the T King cell is going to be the cellular extraction of her phone.
I'm going to click on that so we can kind of walk through that as well.
Inside there, we're going to have two different extractions, one being a before first unlock, and the other one being a full file system, which is the largest one we can get and the one that we want so we can pull the most data.
So when I open up that, you said was the full file system?
Full file system, yes, ma'am.
What is within this full file system?
Inside the full file system will be all the data that the cellular program, or that the extraction program pulled from the phone. In addition to that, it's also going to contain everything that was also in the before first unlock. The before first unlock being a smaller amount. And then when I do a full file system, I get all the before first unlock data and everything else with it.
Is it fair to say that all of the data you were able to pull off of Tammy King's phone is inside this folder?
Yes,
But is this the easiest way to view it?
it is not.
We're back on this page. What are we looking at?
On this here, I was requested by the primary detective and Angie to go through these cell phones.
Just for the record, it's Angie, Detective Hudson.
Detective Hudson, yes ma'am.
Okay.
Detective Hudson to go through cell phones in her behalf and find the data inside the phones. What I was specifically looking for is everything that occurred after we believe that Tammy King was deceased.
And what portion of which folder of this is kind of the first thing of note to you?
Are we talking about in this order? Is there the now or?
What was the first thing that you pulled from Miss King's phone?
The first thing I pulled from her phone were financial records. I pulled things from Cash App and to see what money was moved after a certain time of that morning on February 5th.
And do we have any of those in your pullouts?
They'll be on the PowerPoint.
All right. Will you let the jury know what we are looking at?
Yes, This first page here, if we were to give you the program that you look into it, read it, which was going to be on these files here, would be the Cellebrite reader. But I take a picture of the face page so we can verify all the data on the phone, that it is her phone and that it's real.
I want to zoom in really quick on the type of phone that, Ms. King had.
Miss King's phone was a Moto G Stylus 5G, so an Android type phone.
Your Honor, may I approach the exhibits?
Yes.
All right, Sergeant, I'm showing you what's been admitted as States 476. Will you let me know what States 476 is depicting?
This is Tammy King's cellular device.
And does this cellular device that we see in States 476 match the device that is up on the screen in States 478?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
So is it fair to say this is the cell phone that you dumped belonging to Miss Tammy King?
That's correct.
On this screen, before we get into more of the information, what all is depicted on this kind of page of Cellebrite?
On this page specifically, like as I previously stated, we're looking at the data details of the phone. On the left-hand side gives us the information of the dashboard, a timeline, analyze data, and you can do it as a file system and do files independently and not as a graphical interface, and locations, if they have the locations turned on, and then the insights is anything that may be attached to the phone, or something like that.
And moving to the next slide, we see there's some difference on the left. Can you explain what that is for us?
Yes. So normally when I go through a phone, I will go to the Analyze Data button that's on the left-hand side, and I'll expand it, and it starts to give me, as you can see there, applications, calendar, calls, contact, device, financial purchases, the media, which will be your photos and videos, network connections, search and web, social media, and down through there's the user account details. And if you could scroll up, ma'am.
Scroll up.
Yes, I want to see the very bottom.
Oh, I apologize.
And just to point out, we're talking about how much data will be on the phone. All the files are over 318,000 files.
So would this be considered a larger phone dump or smaller or somewhere in the middle?
Somewhere in the middle.
All right. Will you tell Jerry what we're looking at here?
What I did here was after I went to analyze data, I went down to finance and purchases and to transfers, and I was specifically looking for cash out transfers.
And what, if anything, were you observing or documenting here?
I was documenting that these purchases or these transfers were made after the death of Tammy King.
And what time were these transfers occurring?
Can we go up one page, ma'am? So there's a page before this one.
The page before this one?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. And can you make it smaller so I can see the values of so I can see the prices?
Yeah.
Before they're taken out of there. Is there one more page before this one? Okay, we got that page, please. Thank you. What I was observing on here is that it's February 5th, 2025. There's incoming transfers coming in as late as 2:49 p.m. and I can't see that amount now. $200. The transfers from Tammy King to Tammy King's Cash App account.
And what do you mean by from Tammy King to Tammy King's Cash App account?
They're internal transfers where she's moving money from her either her Wells Fargo or Chase account and into her Cash App account. And there becomes a point here at 8 p.m. that this money starts moving from Tammy King's phone to Terry's phone.
And at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, February 5th, is Miss King already deceased?
Yes.
And are Tara and Uriah still at the home in Bacliff, or have they moved?
I do not recall.
No problem. Moving to this next slide, what is it we're looking at?
Again, we're looking at more transfers of money from Tammy King, internal transfers from Tammy King to her Cash App account. And these here, I couldn't, these are going to be where they logged on to the Chase account and they're doing logins, and it shows the activity of every login that was made to Chase. And above that, also a Zelle application was installed on the phone.
And now, when was the Zelle application installed on the phone?
On February 5th, 2025, February 5th, 2025 at 11:08 p.m. Very soon after Ms. King had been deceased.
And at the bottom, where are those Chase Bank web searches?
You're saying
What time? I apologize.
They are starting at 12 a.m. on the 6th and going through. Did we scroll up a little bit now? Or scroll down. And then stopping also on the 6th.
Now,
pretty consecutively together.
Now it says UTC plus 0. What are we talking about?
UTC plus 0 is going to be universal time, and we have to minus 6 hours.
Okay, so knowing that we need to convert into Central Standard Time, let's use this bottom highlighted one for example. What date and time would this have been?
This would have been 6:11 a.m.
Would it be AM or PM?
6:11 p.m.
On the 6th or on the 5th?
On the 5th.
And same question up here, what date and time would that top one be for Zelle?
That would have been at 5:08 p.m.
On the 5th?
On the 5th.
Okay. I apologize for making you do math. Before I zoom in so that we can see this, what are we looking at here?
This is going to be a message from Tammy King to Terry.
And just in general, why does it look like this? What type of image are we looking at?
In this case here, I went into Cellebrite and I selected all the messages that were sent to her after she would have been deceased, or sent to him after he'd been deceased, or conversations, and I did it in a Word format.
If I zoom in again, which of these numbers would be Tammy's?
Tammy's number is 281-508-4666.
And then we know this bottom number belonged to whom?
Terry Udman.
And Your Honor, may I first? Yes. Sergeant, I'm going to hand you what's been marked as 64 through 72. These exhibits have already been admitted. Do you recognize what these are?
Yes, these will be from Tammy King cellular phone.
And do you know who she's having this conversation with?
Terry King.
Terry.
Oh, Terry.
Okay. And do the screenshots held within 64 through 72, do those match the screenshot or the images and data you were able to collect from Tammy's phone?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I was incorrect in my previous statement. This message is when Tammy's still alive.
Okay. But it is the messages contained within that same set of
Yes,
images.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And as we move forward, I'm not going to go through all of them, but are these more of those same messages that we have the actual screenshots from in 64 through 72?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this just documenting that these same messages, we can confirm that they are true because they are also within the data on Ms. King's phone, correct?
That's correct. The way I validate the data on the phones is I compare it to the data inside the phones, my validation process.
Having tech issues today. I'm going to skip ahead a little through the messages with Mr. Utton because we do have those other screenshots. Man, having real tech savvy issues today, I apologize.
We're going to give you a chance to sort that out. And it is noon. I understand we've received a request for the jury to have an extended lunch today. So we will be back at 1:30, ready to start up. I'm going to urge you to please remember the orders that I have issued. Do not discuss the case. Do not research the case. Do not read anything about the case. Go, enjoy the day, enjoy your lunch, and we'll see you back at 1:30.
All right, for the jury.
All right, where we were previously, we were on a PowerPoint, but this is a different document within that same USB drive. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And explain to us what is this that we're looking at before I start scrolling?
This is a word that when I spoke earlier about making small read reports out of whether it be PDF, Word, or HTML, something like that. This is going to be where I pulled the conversation from Chris to his mother's phone and put it in a Word format in Cellebrite.
Let's start right here. So who is this conversation between?
It's going to be between Tammy King and Chris King.
You go ahead and let us know what this first message is and when it is.
That is going to be 2/5/2025 at 3:44 p.m.
Is that
Central Time.
and is that because this is in UTC time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and from the investigation, is Miss King alive or deceased at this point?
She's deceased at this point.
What is Chris asking his mom?
He's asking his mother if Tara got a bank account.
And what does Tammy's phone send back to Chris?
No, my Cash App has been stupid, so I had Piercy reduce some money I couldn't use for some reason.
And what time was that message sent out?
That is going to be at 4 p.m. on the 5th, on February 5th.
And from the investigation, do you know who has Tammy King's phone at this point?
Tara King.
And is Tara King with anyone?
She's with Uriah.
And so we see just some messages back and forth continuing with Chris, correct?
It is correct.
And the last message sent from Tammy's phone is at what time and what does it say?
That's going to be 6:24 p.m. on February 5th, and it says it's been going good. I've been sleeping. I haven't been feeling so good.
And so that 6:24 p.m. message on Wednesday the 5th is the last message that was sent from Tammy's phone. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I'm going to switch devices for us here. And did you approach looking at Uriah's phone similarly to when you looked through Tammy's phone?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. And so here again, we see a pretty large PowerPoint, but we also see a bunch of smaller folders, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the majority of these smaller folders?
These small folders are conversations between him and people that he's befriended.
So let's start with this between someone that says labeled Uriah and Cole. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this again that similar type of extraction report that you put into a Word document like you just explained with Chris and Tammy?
That's correct.
So tell us who the participants are in this conversation.
The participants are Uriah and Cole.
Now I don't see the word Uriah up there. Can you explain to me who Uriah is on this page?
Uriah goes by the alias of Percy.
And does Percy sound right?
Percy.
And so is that Uriah's number above where it says Percy Frogpog?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this first message to Cole from Percy is on what date and time? And I'll scroll back up.
February 2nd, 2025, 3:55 p.m. And it's UTC -6, so it's the correct time.
Okay, so in comparison, when we had Tammy's phone up, it was UTC 0, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so does that mean that the numbers on Uriah's phone have already been converted to Central Standard Time?
That's correct.
Okay, so the numbers we see here are correct.
Yes, ma'am.
So on that February 2nd date, what does Uriah say to Cole?
Says, I just have autism and ADHD for guns. My sickness was an insult thrown at me for liking peculiar things. So man, I ain't sick, just too little to handle. Too lit to handle.
What does Cole respond?
I'm definitely sick.
What does Uriah say here?
I want to watch a 5.56 shred someone's flesh off their body in slow-mo.
What day and time did he send that?
That is going to be February 2nd, 2025 at 3:56 p.m. Just 3 days before Tammy's murder.
And do we know what Tammy was killed with?
A AR-15 rifle of 5.56 caliber.
Is that the same type of 5.56 that's being referred to?
Yes.
What does he say next?
But it's to test his capabilities. And Cole thinks that's funny. Uriah tells Cole a few days ago she passed out in school and the teacher just left the classroom. He was referring to Tara passed out in school.
This is still on that February 2nd date?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. Then what does he say about 4:05 p.m. on that February 2nd date?
Could you scroll it over something? I don't remember much, to be honest, just that I snapped with an AR in my hand under the carports. Cole
Go ahead.
replies, teachers at that school suck. I swear there would be a shooting and they'd be all. Piercy replies, it was Miss Gaines. She's probably getting fired. I killed him.
Is that the end of kind of pertinent messages between Uriah and Cole?
That's correct.
All right. And I'm going to go to a message set next. Which one was next in your investigation?
Uriah and Scoop. On 2/4/2025 at 11:28 a.m. He just messaged out the Scoop. Just his name, Scoop. Uriah tells Scoop, good news, man.
And just to be clear, this is the day before Tammy King is murdered, correct?
Yes, ma'am. This is 2/4/2025, 11:28 p.m. Piercy tells Scoop, got money, guns, and drugs to sell. The diamond's real, and my coins are too. We're making bank and living together, homie. Fuck a struggle. We're gonna have a fucking blast. That's gonna be Scoop's address.
What date is this?
That is on 2/5/2025 at 8:57 a.m.
And is this the morning that Tammy King is killed?
This is the one Tammy King's killed, isn't it?
So what's the next message from Uriah?
It is 12:49 p.m. after the death, or after the murder of Tammy King.
Okay. What does he say?
Yo. What's up?
Sorry.
Scoop replies to him, I was like mad asleep when you texted me this morning, so I was trying to get you to tell me what you were telling me again. I was completely fucking out of it. Excuse my language. And he says, I can go to yours. Got thousands of dollars. Guns. Old coins. A diamond. I got you. I'll pay whatever bills you need. Scoop tells Uriah, speaking of bills too, I need to figure out how I'm going to get $60 here soon, because in a couple days, my effing internet bill due, and I ain't got the money. So we have till Friday. Uriah replies on 2/5/2025, so the day of the murder, 2:48 p.m. That Friday is when I leave. And do you have Chase Bank? Scoop replies no. He asks for Uriah to call him when he gets a chance. And he asks, are you talking about the Chase mobile app? Uriah replies, yeah. And Scoop says that we downloaded it. Tammy. Uriah replies, bet.
And does this conversation about the downloading the Chase Bank app correspond to anything else that you had located?
It corresponds to them getting into the Chase Bank and logging into it. And there's also a Zelle download. And as we get through this phone, he talks about having Zelle or downloading Zelle also.
Okay. What does Uriah say next?
Do think and link your bank card to it. I can send you cash. Okay, thank you. Can you link a PayPal or Cash app to it? Because that's what we have, and my cousin's trying to get things up right now with Chase, but I don't know if it's working too well. I mean, Zelle works too. It takes any bank and I use your number to send it. And I correlate with the Zelle download we saw on Tammy's phone.
Then we have kind of a jump again. What time is this?
This is 2/5/2025 at 10:09 p.m. He says, "Yo, what's up?" I don't know what does it mean. My bad, maybe. I had to run real quick because of what Uriah's telling Scoop. And Scoop tells Uriah, "Hey, so I talked to Nate. He said if you send him money to go down there and get you, he'll come and get you. And then I was also going to see if you could figure out that card stuff. Nate is going to be Scoop's cousin per his conversation."
All right. That takes us to the end of that Uriah and Scoop file. Which one came next in your investigation?
Jaden, Uriah, and Jaden. This again is a Word document that was generated out of the Cellebrite program.
And who are the individuals conversating in this message?
Piercy and Jaden Landry.
So when do these messages begin?
2 days before the murder on February 3rd, 2025 at 11:40 a.m., Piercy tells Jaden, "Yo, funny thing. Mike's been having orgies with my girl's grandma, his girlfriend, and her girlfriend, her grandma's boyfriend, and they all smoked meth/crack together. Hey, yo." Pierce replies, "Not kidding." And he replies, "That's wild." And I don't know what that means. I don't know what to say, is what he was telling him. He doesn't know I live here. He just smells like drywall, and so does she.
And so where is it that Uriah is stating that he lives?
Uriah is stating that he lives at Tammy King's house, and he's staying under a table where he makeshift little shanty town in Tara's room. Piercy tells Jamie they smoke so much crack. It smells bad. And he hates it here. He says, gonna kill him and go to his trailer to raid it, by the way.
And this is still 2 days prior to Tammy's death?
2 days prior to Tammy's death. And he's referring to Mike.
And what does he say next?
Piercy tells Jaden self-defense because strange man I've never seen in the house, in quotations.
So how did you take this message?
In quotation, fabricating is self-defense.
What does Jaden tell Percy?
You should not do that. He asks why. I make big bucks from grandma fucks. But he says why not? Because that's not what you should do. And he asks him, what are you on? Piercy replies, nothing. I want to leave and make money. I'm tired of hearing them buck all night. It's driving me crazy, man. And he tells me he smoked weed about 13-ish minutes ago. Jaden tells me he's insane. And he says, no way. Piercy tells Jaden, dude, I saw him, his girlfriend, and my girl's grandma at once. And girlfriend, her grandma was naked. He had shorts on. Dog. Shit was unpleasant at the least. Aaron caught him sneaking out this morning. Her grandma let him out back, or was trying to. She was putting clothes in the dryer and they just walked in towards the back door. Jade replies, that's wild. Hey, bro.
What date and time is?
That is 2/4/2025, 11:01 p.m. the day before, just hours before the murder. The day before.
So this is the night before Miss King is killed in the morning, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. What does Percy say to Jaden?
Hey, bro. Need you down here tomorrow to drive us. Got it all. Guns, drugs, kit, and everything. Hydros. Perks. Tiva 833.
Do you know what Ket, Hydros, Perks, Teva is?
Ket would be ketamine, hydros would be hydrocodone. I'm not sure what Teva is.
And Perks are Percocets?
Yes. Percy tells Jaden, got a shotty, an AR, or pistol for you. Choose one. And Jaden says, he needs a pistol. Jaden replies to him, what's up? And being Uriah.
And what time is this?
That is 2/5/2025, 11:48 a.m. would be after the death of Tammy King.
What does Percy say to Jaden?
I got you my old one. Or a comp pistol. Bet. Piercy tells Jaden for performance. Also. And we just do. What's up with that Cash App? This is Friday night. This is, I gotta work later.
I gotta work later, it's gonna work later.
It's gonna work later. Jaden tells Piercy that, yeah, I'll leave here at 4 a.m. Piercy tells Jaden, right now my phone is ass. And asks, are we going back? Question mark. Jade replies, no. Piercy wants to know where we going. And says, I got a homeboy in Wyoming. I'm not leaving the state. Because Jaden's telling me Piercy's not leaving the state. Piercy tells Jaden, shit, where you want to go? Says, I want to go somewhere. He says, I want to go somewhere bad. I can give you a lot more if you drive me to Wyoming. I can give you a lot more if you drive me to Wyoming and hit back. Okay, bet. How much we talking? Where do you want to go? Piercy tells Jaden he's going to Iowa. and to fuck other places. Iowa's far. I don't know. That damn keyboard. Dayton tells Uriah, we'll see. But I don't know if I'll do it. Uriah replies, bet. For some money. Dayton says he'll do it for some money. Piercy tells Jaden I have an inch of hundreds. And another diamond from the house. Still got antique coins.
After you went through everything with Uriah and Jaden, where did you go next?
Next, I went to Nate.
And earlier you said Nate was whom?
Nate is the cousin of Scoop, according to Scoop. This is again a word format from the Cellebrite program.
And we see who's involved in the conversation.
Nate and Percy.
All right. Right here, what date and time is this?
9/12/2024 at 2:15 p.m.
Okay. So is this just the start of the conversation of the whole time that Nate and Uriah have corresponded?
It is a yes, ma'am.
So if I scroll forward, will I get to a more pertinent date?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
This will be where I'll start, ma'am.
Okay. So what is our date and time here?
2/5/2024, 9:40 a.m.
And this is, in fact, in the same hour that Tammy King is killed, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. What does Uriah say to Nate?
Said, it's Tony's friend. I got 10 grand or so in guns. Need to move. Now, Nate asks, you need to go to Wyoming? And Uriah replies, wherever is a safe place. Uriah tells me he cannot be in Texas. Okay, let me call Tony and see what I can do. And he says he has to move soon. Nate asks where to call me. And he'll do my advice girl's Cash App. Sierra Cisneros.
And is that a Cash App handle?
Yes, ma'am. Pierce says, gotcha, I'm gonna do it in a sec, riding to a spot.
And what time is that at?
That's gonna be 2/5/2025 at 1:32 p.m. Nate replies, gotcha. And he wants to know what part of Texas it's from. Uriah replies, League City, Dickinson, Bacliff area. Uriah calls for Nate, calls him by name.
What date and time is this?
That is 2/7/2025 at 3:58 p.m.
So that's Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
And so there's been a pretty good gap between the last message on 2/5 to now 2/7, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Uriah says Nate, then what?
You know how to hide someone who's wanted? And Nate replies, who is wanted? Uriah replies, me. Nate asks, why are you wanted? Nate asks him to call him. says if you can't, it'll trace. He says, Nate says, what did you do? I'm not the FBI. Uriah replies, self-defense. What's the plan? No ID, no license, nothing. And he says, download WhatsApp and Messenger, and those conversations stop. And as we previously spoke about, that WhatsApp Messenger is often encrypted, and I just kind of I lose the conversations from there.
Okay. Now, after you kind of went through everybody's messages, is there another person who you had messages with, or do you move on to something else?
I went through Travis Hodges' messages. They were quite lengthy, but all they really speak about is just the preparation of leaving there, of getting the ride from the home, getting a storage place to store the weapons and things, they'd taken with them, and then eventually giving them a ride to Laredo, Texas.
Okay. Now, earlier we talked about there's lots of things on a Cellebrite dump that you can look at. What are we looking at here?
This here is just a snippet of the videos on Uriah's phone. We look at the media. There says there's 34,547 articles of media, and that is going to be a combination of audio, pictures, and videos.
What is it that you are showing the jury here?
This one here is on 11/9/2024 at 3:05 p.m. Well before all this starts taking place or the murder occurs. He's inside the safe in Tara's room and Tammy's room, and they're inside the gun safe.
Okay, so this is a kind of screen grab of video of the gun safe. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And what are we looking at here?
On 1/15/2025, I found a photo on Uriah's phone of all the safe codes.
And is this roughly 21 days before the murder?
Yes, ma'am.
And what does this appear to be to you?
This will be the combinations to the safe, the big gun safe, small gun safe, black safe, and directions how to get there to stop at 40, left 83, right 10, and a white safe.
And what's
plus key.
What's kind of the clear plasticky stuff that we see on either side?
A tape.
And what does that appear like to you?
I'm not sure what was that. It was just on.
I mean, does it appear that that password is taped somewhere?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's taped to a piece of wood.
Okay. And you mean we just don't know where that piece of wood
I
was?
don't know what that piece of wood is.
Okay. Now, this is some of those text messages we talked about earlier, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, what is this item?
This item here. This item here is that Tara and Uriah go into Tammy's room, and what I consider a setup for this murder. They're going through there and they're talking about, oh, here's the drug she has. They talk about, oh, I've been listening to her have orgies for, I believe it's 3 days, then it's 4 days, then it's 1. Then Uriah has to correct her on the story they fabricated. And they're just trying to paint a picture of Tammy as this bad person.
Is this that video?
This is that video, man.
Yep, think that's it, guys. Hey, babe? Yeah, do you know where this was again? This was right there, right? Yeah, it was, yeah. day. Actually, no. Been hearing it for. Yeah, I've been hearing this shit for a day. Oh yeah, because it was. Well, I'm gonna go watch.
And we go back to some of those messages we've already looked at on the Word documents, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What are we looking at here?
This is a AR-15.
And who did this picture get taken by?
This was taken by Uriah's phone by Uriah.
And where did it get sent to?
Can you scroll up one, ma'am? They sent to school. There's 2 photos sent to school.
Is this that second photo?
Yes, ma'am.
Look backwards for a second, just so we get to the next portion. What are we looking at? I apologize.
Earlier, I spoke about conversations between Travis Hodge and Uriah, and in those text messages going back and forth, Travis Hodge sends him the message we're fixing to look at, which is a snippets of the Galveston County Post of the murder and that Uriah and Tara are wanted.
Is that what we're looking at here?
Yes, ma'am.
And who was the original Facebook post by?
Galveston County Sheriff's Office.
And then it was reshared where?
Talk of Bacliff and St. Leon.
And you said that this screenshot was sent by Travis to Uriah, is that correct?
That is correct.
Let me get it correct. Of course not. Okay. What are we looking at here?
This is a screenshot of a video, just of the data from the screenshot, and the video is going to be of Uriah and Tara in the room, and there's a point where there's several guns shown, but one of those being the murder weapon.
And what date and time is this at?
2/5/2025, 12:16 a.m. So approximately 9 hours before Tammy King's murder.
And we have another screen grab here. What are we looking at? Is it similarly just another video taken around that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Pressing play. What is it we're looking at, Sergeant?
There's the firearm right there, a small snippet of that. The drugs in there are hydrocodone, pills are hydrocodone with acetaminophen, and then the white crystal stuff is the methamphetamines, or it could be fentanyl mixed with something else.
So miscellaneous drugs are what kind of dumped in this lab, correct?
That's correct.
And you said there was multiple guns?
There's another video that's going to show all the guns there, man. And this one here, you could see that the murder weapon.
Is this part of that same video?
It is, man.
And is this another video?
This is another video, and I'd just like to point out that this this blue container that was used to make it look like it was Tammy's is in their possession, and it's continued to be so.
And is that why you made the determination that you believe that first video was a kind of setup video?
For several reasons, because they're trying to convince each other the lie of what happened. Was it 1 day or 2 days or 4 people or 3? Even in that, she picks up this blue container and then immediately asks him, "Hey, where was this? Well, you just picked it up." So I believe they're just scared and trying to tell a lie.
Press and play on this video.
And this here is another weapon. I have a screenshot there after of the serial numbers. We kind of cruise kind of fast in the video.
Is this the screenshot you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am. It is a Ruger, and the serial number is 856-97352, and that is the murder weapon.
So we have that firearm in Uriah's hand after midnight on the day that Tammy King is murdered.
That's correct.
Now, I know we've gone through kind of some pullouts of both Tammy and Uriah's phones. And we talked about this kind of story that Tara and Uriah are telling about Tammy doing drugs or having orgies or being abusive. You also went through Tammy's phone in its entirety, correct?
That is correct.
Was it clear if Tammy was in a relationship with someone?
It was clear.
Who was she in a relationship with?
Terry.
Anywhere in the conversations between Terry and Tammy, did you find any comments about including other people in their sex lives?
I know when I specifically looked for that type of activity to see if I'd seen text messages, videos, pictures, or any other data, and I did not find that.
And did you look in only with her messages with Terry, or did you look for that type of information in Tammy's entire phone?
I looked in the entire phone.
And then also, let's talk about some of the allegations are that Tammy engaged in drug use. Did you also look for that within Tammy's phone?
I did.
What did you locate?
She used smoked marijuana, I believe.
Anything alluding to her smoking methamphetamine or ketamine or cocaine or anything of that sort?
Not at all.
And were there any messages, say, between Tammy and Tara or talking about Tara, where it seemed as if Tammy was physical or abusive to Tara?
No.
I'll pass this witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Hackney?
So what you're alleging is methamphetamine there. Are you saying that belonged to Uriah and Tara?
If you could be more specific, sir, because there are several videos of a white crystalline substance.
Well, I mean, like you got the one of those in the plastic container, you got the one of those in the little plastic envelope. Are you saying that those were Uriah's and Tara's?
That is what I believe, yes, sir.
And you believe that they were just trying to plant the picture to show that it was not, that it was Tammy's?
Yes, that's correct.
Why do you think that?
For several reasons. One, I didn't find any kind of drug usage of that nature on her cellular device. And then the medical examiner's report did not show that she had drugs in her system.
How long after you use drugs will it show up in your system? How many days?
It depends on what it is and how much you use. Marijuana can stay in for 30 to 45 days, depending on how much you hydrate yourself, things like that, or what kind of test it is, a hair follicle or urinalysis. The drugs like fentanyl and methamphetamines and such stay in your system for about 3 days.
Most of the drugs that we test for, as far as that goes, don't have a long shelf life in the body, correct?
It depends on the amount you use.
Okay. So, just because she's, let's say, not necessarily a heavy user doesn't mean she's not an occasional user, is where I'm going with this.
I didn't find that she was a user at all.
Okay, but you're just basing that on stuff on the phone, right?
I'm basing that on what I did not see, yes, sir.
Okay, just because it wasn't in her blood doesn't mean she hadn't used it at other times. Where I'm going with it.
That could be correct.
Okay, and the thing is everyone who uses differently and under different schedules, different amounts, and all that. Just because it wasn't in her body or on her phone doesn't necessarily mean she didn't do it at all.
Right, but that doesn't mean you get to murder her either.
I never said that.
Yes,
Never
sir.
said that. Okay. But that's just what I'm getting at there. So, I mean, just because it wasn't found in your system doesn't mean it wasn't true.
That could be correct, yes.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Very briefly, Judge.
Okay.
All of the devices that you did a forensic download on, Sergeant Williamson, which ones did you locate evidence of narcotics use?
Uriah and Tara's phones.
Of the devices that you downloaded, which ones did you see evidence of firearms?
Uriah's phone and Tara's somewhat.
And on which of these devices did you see any communication about multiple partners in a sexual relationship, orgies, or anything of that sort?
I'm not sure I've seen that at all. I did see a lot of sexual activity between Uriah and Tara on their phones.
In any discussions about those sort of orgies or foursomes, was that on everybody's phone or just some people's phones?
Uriah was making those allegations outward to other people.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
How old were they?
Who, sir?
Uriah and Tara.
They're adults.
17 and 18, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How old was Tammy?
I don't know.
She was 62.
Thank you.
Okay? I mean, the older we get, presumably the smarter we get, and don't leave as many trails as opposed to being younger, correct?
Sure.
I mean, human nature, as you get older, you sort of learn what you get in trouble for, as you get older. Right?
Some people learn from their mistakes.
Some people don't. I got you there. I'll pass the witness.
Nothing further to this, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Sergeant. Have a good day.
Thank you for your time.
Calling next witness.
State would call Sita Patney.